Welcome to EP Daily. Today on the show, we pass go and collect $200 in the rundown.
Plus, Reggie Fils-Aimé tells us what we can look forward to on the Wii U and 3DS.
And then Microsoft's Shannon Loftus shows us what's coming up on the Xbox One. Also coming up, Sony's Adam Boyes talks to us about the biggest new PlayStation games. We enter an age of Ultratron on the Wii U and much more today on EP Daily. Brought to you by EB Games. I'm your host, Victor Lucas, bringing you the latest in everything cool every single day. And I've got to be honest, I've never understood why Yoshi is so quick to throw away the eggs that he lays. It's time for the rundown. Nintendo isn't about to abandon the Wii U or 3DS anytime soon. Earlier this year, Nintendo announced that they're working on a brand new console codenamed the NX, leading many to fear that the Wii U would soon be forgotten. Not so, says Nintendo President Satoru Iwata. Speaking with shareholders, Iwata promises that they'll continue to support the Wii U and 3DS with new titles well after the new system is launched. This is what most big game makers do when a new console arrives, but it's nice for Nintendo to confirm it, especially given the relatively low user base for the Wii U. We still don't know too much about the NX or precisely when it will launch, but more details will be unveiled in 2016. We'll have more on the upcoming games for the Wii U and the 3DS with Nintendo of America President Reggie Fils-Aimé later in the show. It looks like the long-in-development Monopoly movie is finally laying all of its pieces on the table. Hasbro is teaming with Lionsgate to develop a big-screen adaptation of the very successful board game. The big-screen project has been stuck in development hell or gone directly to jail for many years, but now that Lionsgate is on board, it looks like it will finally pass go. The screenplay is being penned by Good Kill writer and director Andrew Niccol, but there's no word yet if he'll also direct the project. Hasbro has already had plenty of success adapting other properties like Transformers and Ouija, but we're still waiting for Trivial Pursuit and Jenga movies.
This is a joke.
Oh boy, this is going to be fun. Scott Jones is here to talk about a Monopoly movie. How much do you want a Monopoly movie, my friend?
Well, many years ago, they made a movie about the board game called Clue.
True.
And that was not terrible, but very far from great. Yeah,
Yes.
completely unnecessary. I don't even know why we're celebrating. I mean, it's all about money. I mean, I hate to sound like a cynical guy, but that's really what it all comes down here.
What is this all leading to? Are we going to get running shoe movies?
No, I just think they're looking for things to make movies out of. They're looking for products that they can extend the brand a little bit.
Well, let's help Hollywood out. What would the plot for the Monopoly movie be?
Well, the most interesting thing about the board game, there's a jail in there, and I think that's the part. If you wanted to make a Monopoly jail-themed movie, I think that might work.
I don't know.
So good luck.
Scary proposition. Not so scary. The fact that Nintendo is going to continue, at least they're saying this, is going to continue to support the Wii U and the 3DS.
You know, I think it's been too soon to talk about the new console. Way too soon.
They had to, though, because they were getting hammered on expectations and they were sort of falling short, with investors, and they had to kind of placate everybody, tell them that they're getting into the mobile space. Smart way that they're doing that. And they had to kind of announce that they're already thinking about the future.
I think it confuses consumers.
Nintendo has been turning things around ever since Mario Kart 8 came out. Splatoon has turned out to be a big hit. Super Mario Maker and Yoshi's Woolly World are two, big titles that I think are going to get people buying the Wii U.
You know, my heart is this big.
Yeah.
Most of that heart belongs to Nintendo because I love them so much.
Well, clearly the NX is going to be one of the biggest stories of 2016. That's when they're going to talk about it. But right now, all we can do is speculate. But right now, we have to turn things over in PlayStation's direction. You got a great interview with Adam Boyes at E3. Let's take a look.
I'm here with Adam Boyes. Of course, he was the superstar of the Sony press conference here at E3 this week. And I got to tell you, Vic wanted me to do this interview because I have to thank you for The Last Guardian, for making my dream come true. Honestly, I was just telling you a story before we started rolling here that we were wondering as media members if The Last Guardian would always be vaporware or if it would actually become something, and it really became something. Tell me a little bit about the decision to do it now. Why is this the right moment for The Last Guardian to come back to us?
Well, for us, I think, obviously Shu and the whole team at Worldwide Studios, they're huge fans of that franchise, and they've been working on it for a long time. We had a lot of discussions internally about, do we start the show with it? Do we end the show with it? And I was like, well, yeah, if we put it at the front, then we get out of the way and nobody on the internet's like worrying about what's coming next. The thing is, like, the game's been in development for a long time, but we only like showing things when they're totally ready, right? Last Guardian, I think, is that cornerstone. It really represents what PlayStation's all about.
Let's talk about another game called Firewatch. Now, I know there was a trailer for it during the press conference here at E3. I didn't really understand it, but I kind of like walking away from press conferences. I kind of like walking away from trailers with a little bit of a question. And then I had one here, for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Firewatch, the guys at Campo Santo are super, super talented. Used to work at Telltale, so they know exactly how to weave an amazing story. And so basically, it's an open world exploration, you know, interactive adventure.
Should I be worried?
We saw the scenario where he's talking to the girls that are in the water, and it's completely changes the whole outcome. Like, you can either take their clothes, you can throw the bottle at them, you can break the bottle, it's super interactive. And then that whole entire story, the only person you have contact with is the girl that's on your walkie-talkie. And so it's sort of a mystery unfolds around the whole thing. It's super cool, though. Visually stunning. I think it looked awesome.
When I go into a Sony press conference, I feel like you're making games for gamers at the moment that we want them, and you did that more than ever, probably at E3 2015.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a lot of planning that went into it, and it wasn't on purpose. Like, it's not like Shu and I got together 6 months ago and we said, hey, if we do the Shenmue 3 Kickstarter announcement, will you do Last Guardian? It kind of all happened, and I remember seeing him one day, and because he knows Suzuki-san, right, Yu Suzuki, and I'm like, just want to let you know that we're going to be announcing Shenmue 3 Kickstarter, and he was like, we're going to be doing Last Guardian. I'm like, and we sort of sat there looking at each other like, oh, I can't believe that. And then Final Fantasy VII Remake, that just sort of took down the house. Those three things on the checklist, super fun. I mean, it's totally a dream come true for me to be able to be a part of that.
So what did Adam Boy smell like?
Of course, tanning oil, like a light coconut. There was just a little touch of an exotic tropical drink. I love you, Adam.
All right, well, we're going to find out what Reggie Fils-Aimé smells like. No, we're not. When we come back, so don't go away.
Reggie, are you ready?
Nintendo 62, Nintendo 63, Nintendo 64.
Welcome back to E3 Daily. Hey, Scott Jones. I hear you have a great Reggie Fils-Aimé impression when he's up on that stage. Let's hear it.
Well, I have lots of impressions, but here comes Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Okay, let's do it.
How would you like to play a new Kirby karting game?
Wow.
Yep, thank you very much. And scene.
That was great. That was really impressive. But you know what else is impressive? Victor Lucas, you know, your buddy, he got a lengthy interview with Reggie himself because, you know, they're Facebook friends.
It's another big E3 for Nintendo, and I'm here with the big man himself, Reggie Fils-Aimé. You were a puppet this year in the digital event. How did that feel?
You know, it felt wonderful. You know, this year we took the inspiration from Mr. Miyamoto. When he was a young boy, he dreamt of being a puppet master. He made puppets. It was wonderful to partner with the Henson Company and to have them make these puppets. It's been fun.
I'm here.
Amiibo has been an unqualified success. It's just absolutely phenomenal how hot this thing is right now. I'm a huge fan and a collector, and I'm a little angry about how much I love these things.
Do you have every one?
Almost. It feels like it. My wife is so thrilled by my obsession with these things, by the way. But they're amazing. And now you've got a Skylanders partnership and the Yarn Yoshi versions and variations. I have one or two viewers that wanted me to remind you that you have a little supply issue. Like they could use a little more.
I have a demand challenge as much as a supply issue. In the Americas, over the last 30 days, we've sold over 1 million Amiibo. 30 days, 1 million Amiibo. So we're putting them out into the marketplace.
Right.
It really is this phenomenal demand that we're trying to satiate, which is making it tough for us. But we know about it, we're working on it, we're driving on it.
There was a terrific rumor about a Zelda series on Netflix that was bubbling around. We all want to see scripted content of some kind, movies, TV shows. Can you tell us anything? Is anything like that sort of bubbling? Is anything being worked on?
We're looking to bring our fantastic franchises into consumers' homes and doing different ways. So I have nothing to announce here.
Yeah.
But what I can tell you is that we see the opportunity, and we're going to go after that opportunity.
You've got a lot of titles heading our way very soon, and I think the standout one for me, at least, is the Super Mario Maker, which there's a permanence about it, because obviously it's harkening back to 30 years of Mario, but it feels like an idea that has always been with us. And that must feel pretty good. It feels like it's part of the landmark part of the Nintendo lineup.
It really is. I mean, it is our marquee title. It's a title that, in our view, is going to itself be around forever.
Yeah.
And that's because we know consumers are going to make fantastic levels. We have our own Treehouse staff that's made levels, and those will be available with the product. That proposition of being able to create your own Mario level, to share it, to have it be evaluated by the community, it's something that we believe is really powerful. And we love seeing the reaction that we've had.
I think one of the big surprises is Yoshi's Woolly World. And I played it. It's not just for kids, this one.
No. This is a game that can be as challenging as you want it to be. I've played the game. To collect every single item in the game is really challenging. We know the fans want lots of games. We're fortunate. We've got a ton of games now through early next year. But there's more coming, and we're going to continue to be announcing new content all the time.
It's fantastic to catch up with you. Thank you, Reggie.
Great to see you.
You've completed your mission, Spartan Lock. Mine is just beginning.
I know that this is going to be a big E3 for you guys. Tell us a little bit about some of the things that you talked about, in general with this massive convention here. What are some of the highlights?
Well, it was so much fun putting together this keynote with gamers at the center of everything that we do. We knew that leading off with Halo 5 Guardians, which is our premier IP, and then just bang, bang, bang with all the incredible exclusives, the blockbusters, the independents, 360 backward compatibility. We were delivering this year an amazing value for Xbox gamers and the greatest games lineup in Xbox history. And then a little bit of a sneak peek into where we're taking the platform moving forward with our Oculus relationship, with some of the games that are coming out post-2016, ReCore, Gears of War 4, Sea of Thieves, and then just a little peek into what people can expect from HoloLens.
We are all, especially fans of this show, are acutely aware of the massive new scale and costs for making some of these big AAA type titles, and also this surge in indie development. And I'm really starting to see this move from two-dimensional stuff to three-dimensional stuff.
Right.
With this presser, you guys brought us back to when games were a little bit more risk-taking.
I think video games are such an incredible medium, and video gamers are the best fans in the entire world. And yeah, they deserve new, they deserve better, they deserve the best experiences that they can possibly have. And you can't do that if you just repeat the same formula over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And so part of the ID at Xbox charter, part of my charter as the head of publishing, part of First Party Studios charter really is to push all the platform capabilities, push the social capabilities, push Xbox Live, push our rendering capabilities, that 60 frames a second, smooth as butter experience, so that gamers who put that controller in their hands walk away with a great feeling.
Why has it taken this long for backwards compatibility to be a part of Xbox One? I know that there's a lot of players out there that love their 360 that have maybe been waiting to jump in. Why has it taken so long?
We heard from gamers that it was the #1 feature that they wanted.
Yeah.
And so we put our best and brightest engineers on it, and they worked hard. And what they've actually created is a 360 emulation within the Xbox One architecture. So when you put your disc in the tray and fire it up, it actually fires up a little piece of the Xbox 360 dashboard. And then you're playing through 360, but you have the benefit of all of the Xbox One features, game streaming, screenshots, game DVR. So that wasn't a simple task, but the gamers wanted it, so we gave it. And the best part about it is that it's free. We're not going to charge you for games that you've already paid for.
You guys have also entered into this new VR dynamic and relationship with not one but two big players in VR, but it feels like you've been waiting for the right time to make that announcement and make that relationship public. Has it been something that you've been working on for years with both Valve and with Oculus?
Well, the beauty of our VR story is that it's all based on Windows 10.
Right.
And so that's really the key, is Windows 10 takes your games to every platform, every experience type, regardless of what you want, regardless of what kind of device you're playing on. So the right games for VR now can run on Windows 10.
What are you most personally excited about from all of these big announcements that you had today? What are you excited about the most?
Oh, you're asking me to choose between
Yes,
my
you got to pick a baby. Come on.
Well, I have to say, because I'm responsible for it, Recore is a game that I've seen from concept all the way through to inception. It's been incredibly inspiring working with Mark Pacini and Inafune-san. I love the story, I love the characters, I love the mechanics. It's exactly the kind of game that I've wanted to play for many years, so I can't wait to get that game out into the market in the hands of gamers.
What is it? Don't go anywhere because after the break we have our review of Ultratron on the Wii U. Welcome back to EP Daily. I love me some twin stick shooters, and I also love me the Wii U. So those are two ingredients that should make this next game good, but we'll find out right now, won't we? Here's Vic and I with our review of Ultratron on the Wii U.
Eugene Jarvis invented the dual-stick shooter with Robotron, which is still one of my favorite video games of all time.
So great.
Ultratron is the new game that you can play on the Wii U from a company called Puppy Games. What do you think, my friend?
Oh man, are you kidding me? Well, dual stick shooters, my God, I've been loving this.
Right.
It's just so simple to jump into these games. You already know exactly what you need to do and where you need to aim your joysticks. It just feels so perfect. It feels so right. And this game does that exactly. It throws you right into the level.
Yep.
You start shooting things, you start collecting coins. You don't really know what's going on. You have no freaking clue. This little robot dude shooting things, I like him. I don't know his story, but I like him.
Well, he's the last of the humanoid robots that's left alive, and he's trying to kill all the robots. So this is obviously a loving homage to Robotron. It's called Ultratron. I think that's great. I think that's all cool. But here again is another dual-stick shooter that's not as good as Robotron. And I feel like, what's happening with Robotron? Why don't we just bring that back somehow? Why don't we just make like extra levels of Robotron, even like the same aesthetic? There is some good stuff in here. I like leveling up your character, and basically you spend the currency that you have in game to choose the power-ups that you want that will allow you to progress as far as you can.
Right, of course, you can only choose a certain power-up once you get to a certain level, so different power-ups will unlock as you progress.
Yep.
Now, this game gets incredibly difficult. Even, I think at level 5, where you have to take on just the onslaught of robots coming at you, that's when it gets really tough. You have to make sure that you upgrade properly because you use those upgrades to defeat all those guys coming at you, and there's like a safety mechanism, you have a shield, bombs go off. I love all of it. I love how intuitive it is. I love how easy it is. It makes me feel like I have so much power in my hand, in the gamepad. I'm never looking up at my TV though. I never once look up at the TV.
Right, this is a game where you totally start looking down at your belly, basically, as you're playing. Wait, what's happening? Yeah, I know, because there are lots of little bits and doodads. I don't like the fact that they've kind of tried to make it like an old arcade screen and have cut off the two sides of the thing. Just use the whole screen and use up all of that stuff, because there's a lot of wasted real estate on the screen. You know, I guess I want that perfect hybrid between classic Robotron and modern day Geometry Wars. I want more Robotron for sure.
We need to know, do you think it's worth the $15 that you're paying here? Because it's about 15 bucks.
No, I don't think it's worth that much, though. I think that this is at best a $10 game, so wait for it to go on sale. And I think there are better dual-stick shooters out there. And this is available on the Wii U. It's also available on the PC.
Right.
It's fun. I don't think it's as imaginative, and it doesn't mix things up like Geometry Wars 3 did, where they gave you that sort of board game kind of career mode, which I thought that was pretty cool. You know, I like that there's boss fights. I like that you can get little AI drones to follow you around. I love the aesthetic. The music is pretty cool.
Music is very cool, but you think it's too expensive, and it's not Robotron. So negative from Victor Lucas. I think I'm going to be the positive on this one, which is fine with me, but guess what? I still think it's too expensive. This is a $5 game, if you ask me.
$10 at max.
All
you know,
right.
Depending how much you love these arcadey dual-stick shooters.
Well, I love them, Victor Lucas. What are you scoring Ultratron?
I'm going to give it a 7. How about you?
Gets a 7.5 for me.
Okay.
Oh yes, the carnage, the coin collecting. Love all of it. Don't go anywhere because after the break, we've got the Twitter question of the day.
If you want more EP, go to our website, epn.tv, for bonus content and full episodes. We're also on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to EP Daily. It is time now for the best part of every episode. It's the Twitter question of the day. Today's question comes from Miguel T. He is at Uber_Miguel. What's the best movie/movie tie-in game combo this year? This is a tough question for us.
Yeah, it used to be something we could answer without any difficulty whatsoever, but now
painfully, because most of the movie tie-in games were almost always.
A lot of them were, yeah, for sure. I'm not going to say most because I don't want to discourage licensed titles. I think that they can be fantastic. I think Star Wars Battlefront is a good example of something that's coming up that looks like it's going to be a blast. Batman is a licensed game.
Right. You got your Batman in.
I got my Batman in.
Right.
Well, what's happened is everybody is going to the iOS quick, Instabuck kind of marketing kind of driven thing.
Easy to make those, or easier to make those games than it was to make a AAA kind of game.
Sure.
Listen, I got a couple of friends in the development community. I'm not going to name names here, but we were talking about the Captain America game that Next Level put out a few years ago. Nobody played it. They worked really hard on it.
That was an amazing game.
And that was kind of a heartbreaker.
Yeah.
And I think it's always been a little bit of a heartbreaker for Hollywood to try to make video games centered around movie properties. They don't really do it the way that they used to do it 10 years ago.
So I'm going to say best of the movie license stuff. There were a couple Avengers kinds of ideas with Marvel Future Fight on iOS and Marvel Heroes 2015, both free-to-play games, but they incorporated some of the Avengers stuff. Good question. If you want to ask us any other questions, go to our website, epn.tv.
And listen, we're working on a story for tomorrow's episode that's centered around everybody who attended E3 this year. We're going to have a big, huge wrap-up chat. You're not going to want to miss it. Thanks for watching, everybody.
We'll see you tomorrow.
EP would like to thank its sponsors, Nintendo, Xbox. EP's mobile coverage is brought to you by Gameloft, makers of Asphalt 8 Airborne, which you can play on your Android or iOS device for free right now.
The HoloLens demo they had with Minecraft, because this was probably the coolest thing that any of these press conferences had on a stage.
Yes.
This was an amazing demo. Whatever camera they used to show us what this person is staring at.
It was mind-boggling.
That was very, very cool. I think that might have been the coolest thing in their whole show.